Hello and welcome back to Battle 12. On the last episode, we left off with Frederico saying some questionable things, but mainly he was confronting Scale about his plan to get rid of Miharu. More or less all of it was just a recap of, well, not really a recap, but a check to see how everyone's handling Odette's elimination. So, pretty much just a filler, but we may as well just continue on, see how things go. I've got one arm on the table with my head hanging down. I take another drink. This ain't like me. Maybe because I've spent all day thinking about stuff. Stuff I couldn't stop thinking about, no matter how hard I tried. Things doused in uncertainty, where a clear answer may not even exist. It turns out she had all my information at her disposal. That's proof enough that she's dangerous. I mean, that logic is self-destructive because, you know, for all you, so are you not dangerous if you have everyone else's information scale? I doubt you could have known that I would elect her, though. If anything, it would probably be Odette who figured out I would from when we were allies. Okay. I'm surprised she told me, Miharu, though. Makes me glad that you were able to eliminate her in the end. Are you feeling about it, perhaps? You feeling bad about it? I don't know if I said bad or not. He's feeling about it, apparently. Hell no. That ain't it. I'm just confused, is all. She gave her own life to save me when I was dying. Knowing her, she could have escaped alive. What's more, she had all my info, as well. I saw all three of my cards after eliminating her. I just don't get it, man. Both her thought process and this frustration I'm feeling are a mystery to me. I'm the one who won in the end, but it doesn't feel that way. As I suspected, you... Listen, I ain't gonna deny that I enjoyed the time I spent running around with her. And when I think back to it all, teaming up with you has been boring. Damn. I mean, way to insult the man. Everything he says and does is weaved in lies. He drinks with me, but it's easy to tell when he's making sure he doesn't get drunk. Can't even compete with him like that. There's nothing wrong with that if we were just cooperating to fill our own goals. That makes things simple then. But it was my buddy. This guy ain't anything close to that. Yeah, she just wanted fun. Making myself sick with all these sentimental feelings. Should I take it that as a suggestion that we call off our alliance? Oh, he looks angry or annoyed. Whatever, I don't care. How do you plan on dealing with Alan? I'll figure something out. Besides, you've been trying to figure out my regret for a while now, haven't you? Looks like you still haven't managed to, judging by your attitude. I mean, does that mean he's got everyone's information? I agree that this wasn't a very exciting alliance, especially with how useless you were. Ooh, starting to throw out the insults. Whatever, so long. Gil slams some money onto the counter before leaving. I'm not sure if you'll ever come back. But I am sure that I'm truly on my own now. Well, I mean, you've kind of been riding the coattails, to be fair. I'm not saying that you were useless, like Skill just did, but... You know... I'm just saying, Odette's got muscles and Alan's got muscles for no reason other than they've been lifting this competition. Miharu and Rinka have the brains. Scale's also got brains, I can't deny him that. But you're the underdog here, I guess. Then again, I was probably alone the moment I considered stabbing Odette in the back. Miharu and Scale never needed me, nor did they ever want to get close to me. I mean, please stop making moves on Miharu. The age difference is a thing. I spend a while longer drinking alone. I don't talk to a single person. I mean, not even the barkeep. Not even thinking about anything. Now that I'm drunk. Fair enough. I'm just swallowing in my own misery. Or so I think. Is that alcohol you seem to love so much any good? A distressing voice drags me back to reality. This is an unexpected power-up. You're... Oh yeah, you ain't allowed to drink where you're from, are you? Technically, but I've cast aside my religious beliefs. I just haven't had the opportunity to drink by nature of my age. But by nature of your age, are you 20? Below 21 at least? Is that the legal age for drinking in Japan? I assume so. That's like the majority of the world. I always forget you're just a punk kid. Yeah, he really is. I guess he is then. I'm here for a reason, you know. And you sure have the luxury of getting this drunk during the divine selection. I mean, he made it to the final 5. Alan ignores my statement and proposes his own question. This is the first time we've had a face-to-face. Yeah, we've had a face-to-face now that I think about it. But it doesn't feel that way since I see him in the dream world too often. He's got the face of a straight-laced businessman, but his physique runs in total contrast to that. Yep, he's just as annoying here as he is there. Don't think I've forgotten what you said during the 4th election. What did he say? I don't remember. Worry not. You've etched yourself into my memory for surviving this long. Of course. I see no need to take back my comments regarding your foolishness. 4th elimination. Who was that? His first was an unnamed woman. Then it was Poe. Then it was... Was it Keiko next? Because then it was Sophia. Then it was Shigetsugu. Then you. And now Odette. Yeah, that tracks out. Oh yeah. Sorry to say I might actually agree with you now. You might be trying to provoke me, so my response must have surprised him a bit. I've just now noticed that he's got a few cuts and bruises on him. Guess you and Odette went at it, huh? He's been dying to fight you. So I guess she went ahead with it after figuring out I'd elect her. Correct. So who won? I even surprised myself a bit with that question. I never would have asked had I not considered the possibility that even a monster like her could lose to this guy. The results were hardly clear, but I was apparently able to barely outlast her. That's so. You must have been real happy then. No doubt she considered him the winner if he outlasted her. She's simple like that. But it makes me jealous. He made Odette admit defeat through his own ability. Must have been a hell of a fight. I'm curious to know, how strong was she, from your perspective? Alan takes a minute to respond. The second strongest of those I've met so far. The first, I'd say. First, if we judge purely on a penchant to beat someone senseless. I would assume that means what? You is the strongest? Damn, you'd actually put someone above her? Must be a samurai or assassin or something. Not quite, just family. Just family. Okay then. That's a rough childhood. Wasn't looking for a serious response. Guess you grew up with a... Guess you're part of the crew who changed thanks to this whole situation. Not quite. I've simply reverted to my old self. That's so. Downing the rest of my drink, I leave a crumpled up 10,000 yen bill on the counter of the and tell the bartender it'll cover the impending repair costs. Impending. He's gonna start a fight. I know what you're here for. You want to rough me up and find out something valuable, right? Correct. Fine by me. If I manage to take you down, that means I've technically surpassed Odette as well. She certainly seems to preoccupy your mind. I mean, can you really argue that since you're fighting him and he's still recovering? He's not at full strength. I don't want to put doubt on you Federico. You seem to be the middleman of this game, of the final five. But, yeah. Fate made it just so that I owe her my life. Come again? Don't worry, I'll fill you in if you can beat me. It's not often that I roll my sleeves up before a fight. I mean, you don't want blood on them. I ain't some pushover who can't move well when he's drunk. Or when they're drunk, either. More importantly, I got the height advantage. Height advantage doesn't necessarily mean it's an advantage. The guy's build is built like a tank, but I can't see myself losing. I can. Oh, whoa. Beat up sprites. Damn it, he wrecked me. I make my way back to the hotel in tatters. I've been staying at this place for a while now. None of the staff want to bother with me, all things considered. Can hardly blame them. I knew he was a beast, but that doesn't make it losing any less frustrating. He beat me so soundly that I can't even lie my way out of it. One punch to the gut, followed by one to my chest, to my right cheek. That's all it took to knock me over. For me to knock over a bunch of glasses and bottles before passing out. That means he didn't get any information. Alan dragged me outside afterwards, and I was officially expelled from the bar. Pretty upsetting because they have good booze there. Good as hurt. I try my best to laugh the way she did, but it leaves me feeling empty. Alan didn't beat me senseless for fun. He got what he came for while he was at it. All because I was stupid enough to hold on to something dear to me. Fitting for a loser like me, though. I pull out the very object that may symbolize just how stupid I am. A ring ever so important to me. So did he have someone in his life he wanted to propose to? Is it? Well, I'm assuming it's a proposal ring, an engagement ring. Sorry. Guess he has some compassion, considering he didn't steal it from me. Then again, he's probably got a photographic memory when it comes to jewels, thanks to his job. The scenery outside my room's window is far too bright for a dimwit like me. I collapse on my bed after taking a shower and I fall asleep almost immediately. Recalling the events that followed his victory over Federico, Alan mumbles to himself as he walks. A ring of all things. Having dragged Federico out of the bar, Alan proceeded to look through his belongings. Neither his wallet nor phone held any valuable information. His credit card may have been useful to a point, but Alan already knew Federico's name. He needed to make sure to jot down his contact details just in case. Just as he was ready to give up, he noticed Federico holding something tight in his hand. He must have grabbed onto it before passing out, which meant it was something dear to him. He pried Federico's hand open and picked out a small ring. While modest, it did have a diamond encrusted in it. Alan could tell it was, at a glance, it was real thanks to his line of work. The ring itself was simple, but the mount was well adorned. There were initials engraved inside too. A bit old, but well taken care of. Based on the design, I can assume it's an engagement ring. Probably is why... Well, I was going to say probably is why Odette didn't chase after him, but I realise it's because Odette... Well, to be fair, Odette had options. But also... He said he looked nice, but you're too stupid. Alan committed the ring to memory, took a few pictures just in case, and then placed the ring back in Federico's hand. He ponders a number of things as he continued to walk. Researching Federico's ring will likely lead Alan to his regrets. It's only a matter of time before Federico's elimination, then. Alan figures that the same applies to Scale too. Of course, Alan does not consider the people who talk a threat in the first place. Which is exactly how I felt about Federico Carminati at first. Alan's evaluation of Federico has changed significantly significantly now. As such, he will not hesitate when the time comes to elect him. But is Federico truly the threat of this final five? If anything, I wouldn't call him all talk, but I would still say he's, you know, the least threatening. Probably is Rinker and Miharu since they're working together. It's 2 against 1, regardless of who you are. Ben Scale, because he's also just as smart as Miharu. Maybe just under, to be fair. And then obviously it's Federico, so... From Alan's perspective, at least. The issue lays beyond that point. Rinker and her friend, Hibinata Miharu. It truly is cruel that only one can survive this. I mean... on paper, correct. But in practice, we found a way to say incorrect. Because what if no one can elect anyone? Alan states the obvious as he smiles to himself. It's not so obvious. Not for some sense of inner peace, but from his expectations. Miharu, Naomi, and myself gather at the Line House. I keep the still no the in front of it. After school, just as we arranged. Sorry for making you close up shop early. No worries. Not like we run this place to make a profit anyway. All the regulars are just fine with it too. We have important things to discuss today. Things we'd rather not have other people hear. Things regarding the secret behind Divine Selection that Miharu has kept up bottled up. Just as we drop our bags and move to our usual seats, the door opens. Is it Alan? Or is it Federico? I think Federico would be the one to come over. It could potentially be Scale since he's annoyed, but I mean, it could be any of them, I guess. Sorry, we're actually closed right. It takes a moment to recognize who it is due to the way the light is shining and concealing their face. He's already inside by the time I figure out who it is. Scale, this place looks even nicer than it does in the photos. Numeral 9, Scale Jones, is standing right in front of me. Not only is this the first time we've met in the real world, but it's also the first time we've spoken. Why are you here? Miharu glares at him. It's clear that she's wary of him. Naomi tries to stand, but I gestured for her to stay seated. This shouldn't come to us as a surprise, should it? It's only natural to assume that Shishimai Rinka would have my information if Miharu was able to protect herself from my election. Following that logic, I'll be eliminated next. Thing is, I can't allow that to happen while Alan and Federico still remain. I'm working under a just cause, after all. Mind explaining why you're trying to eliminate why you tried to eliminate Miharu then? Why would you do that to someone you allied with? No pleasantries are required between participants meeting for the first time. All that matters is gaining the upper hand. I mean, that's true. Pleasantries are a disadvantage. I suspected you were working with Odette Malencon, though it seems she seems to be my mistake. For that, I apologize. I mean, why? That's clearly a lie, I think. His answer is clear and concise and to the point of being suspicious. It almost sounds like a canned response he practiced beforehand in anticipation of being asked the very question. He can't be trusted. I figured as much based on what I'd heard from Miharu, but meeting him in person only confirms it. Spare us the nonsense and get to the point. You're here to cut us a deal so that Rinka won't elect you, right? If that's the case, please get on with it. I'm fairly certain you should try and make him leave. You must be the victim of the terrorist attack at a Mecca high school before it was undone. Glad you're doing well. Yeah, fair enough. Don't you dare. Calm down, I have no intention of doing anything to her. For now, at least. Well, you said for now, so... deal's off. If you're gonna make threats before we've actually snapped a deal... Just as Miharu said, I'm here to make a deal with you. Promise, if you will. Too late. you've already threatened someone who isn't in the game and will potentially die. I make sure to keep my guard up as he continues. Us three will be the only ones left after Alan and Federico are eliminated. I might overweight for all three of us to survive given that scenario. He looks as serious as can be. Around 30 seconds of silence follows. I realize that he's suggesting that the same idea that Miharu shot down this morning, but I don't know how to reply. Miharu is the one to break the silence with an overdramatic sigh. That's the best you can come up with, now that your back's against the wall, huh? You're hoping for a peaceful resolution here, but unfortunately that method won't work. If all three of us elect and subsequently protect ourselves, we'll be left with no one able to elect another. I just said it won't work, but fine. I'll fill you in on the secret I was about to reveal. But you'll have to go away after that. Miharu? Doesn't seem like I have any choice but to agree. Surprisingly enough, he goes along with it. Scale makes his way to my cafe so he can hear her out. Rinka, do you remember the promise from this morning, right? I can tell how serious she is from her expression. She made me promise not to hate her after hearing whatever this could be. My mindset hasn't changed, so I nod my head firmly. The entire ritual is called Divine Selection, so I assume you've taken time to consider what exactly is being selected, correct? Is it the new... Alright, based off Future Diary, is it the new goddess of time? Or being of time? Deity of time? Because she's calling it a ritual. Everything starts with this question. The ritual of the Divine Selection is one thing that changes fate itself. It is the sole method by which can escape their death. That's what Parker told us. What purpose is being carried out through this ritual, though? He never said anything about that. And I never even thought why, considering I was so preoccupied with ensuring my and Miharu's survival. I have my own suspicions about the whole thing, but they only ever led me to more questions. Escaping death is merely a circumstance of the entire ritual. Its true purpose is to develop a suitable vessel for the goddess. So it is to become god of time. Okay. That seems like... Okay. Miharu goes on to explain what she means. Apparently Parker can't remain in the Court of Fate beyond the 12-week span that encompasses the Divine Selection. You're only goddess for 12 weeks? What? That seems very unfair. To be more accurate, the Court of Fate can only be maintained for 12 weeks. Thus Parker cannot remain longer than that. I'm not too sure about the logistics, but basically she needs us in order to keep living. I said vessel, but it's not like our bodies are what become vessels or anything. It's our dreams. The world's born from them, in which she resides. The dream world. According to Miharu, the dreams, we have all been a part of the dream world. What? Parker claimed that the dream serves as headstones in a graveyard for possibilities that we once had, but also part of our individual metaphysical worlds. This is going over my head. Parker exists in the plane above ours, thus lives within our metaphysical worlds, or something like that. I can't say I understand what any of it means. Metaphysical refers to something without form. As a philosophical concept, it represents experiences that exist beyond our perception of space and time. So basically, it borders on the supernatural. Parker herself said that we couldn't be cognizant of such a conceptual world without some work on her part. That's why the Court of Fate was created. By linking our dream worlds into one shared space, we thus become cognizant of it. So what is Parker then? I'm afraid I don't know I don't know that much. What I do know is that she's undoubtedly not human, and that existence for her is far beyond our comprehension. If she truly is a deity. So, okay. I mean, I'm trying to think. Because the way it's speaking out is obviously people who are opposing us in the divine selection itself are enemies, but it also is trying to make it. It could potentially make it seem like Parker herself is the big bad. So divine selection is basically a system put into place to find a body for Parker to live in. Miharu nods in response to Naomi's question. How did Miharu know about this? Why must 12 people compete each time then? It's still a fact that whoever makes it through to the end gets to live, right? Yep. That's one of the reasons why I said this method won't work though. Just as I'm about to ask more questions, Gil butts in. It's the first time he's spoken up since Miharu began her explanation. I can't believe the only one wondering how you know all of this. I can't be the only one. Okay. I'll be the only one who you know this, Miharu. Brilliant as your mind may be, I find it difficult to imagine that all of this stems from mere conjecture. This question is one that I, and most likely Naomi, are curious about. Is it because the unknown being that shows up like every 3 elections has been talking to us? It's simple, really. I just happen to be the survivor of a previous divine selection, as well as the goddess's vessel up until this round began. Was this based on Future Diary? Because it seemed participant number 2 has previously won, which I'm also confused about. If she's a previous participant, shouldn't she be participant 1? Because then she'd already be selected. I was able to speak with Parker herself within my dreams until that point. Hold up, you were able to speak with her, and you're the survivor of a previous divine selection, which means this isn't the first one. Rinka, calm down. No, honestly, this... No. I'm on team scale on this one. Gil seems awfully composed in the fact that, to our surprise. Well, that explains things. I did find it odd that something like this could happen out of the blue, so it makes sense that for that to be a scheduled occurrence. How many years ago was this, if you don't mind me asking? Long enough ago that I don't remember, I'm afraid. I hadn't even turned 1. How does a baby win this game? Excuse me? How did what? You managed to survive despite that. Did you have someone helping you along the way? I've said enough already. Knowing that the system itself will be compromised if 2 or more people survive is plenty, isn't it? I mean, it's just motivating me not to, to go along with scale, really. Not really, but I can tell that you want to kill the conversation here. I'll settle for what you've told me for now. Just don't make that face. Why are you so angry? It's odd, really. He knows I'm going to elect him, but he never tried to make me reconsider. It's like he isn't worried in the slightest. That realization is enough to shift the surprise away from what Miharu has just revealed. I doubt I'll get anything worthwhile by staying, so allow me to take my leave now. With that, he makes his way out of the Lionhouse, without a care in the world. Soon after, the 3 of us end up at our usual table. That's all, though we just sit there in silence. I figure nothing will change if I don't speak up. That prompts me to work up the courage to say something. Tell me, Miharu, did you have any intention of making it through together with me in the first place? She draws her eyes away from mine. Away from me. I take a bit to think before I continue. Sorry, that was a cruel way to put it. You were planning to give yourself up for me, after all, weren't you? We'd elect one another, but you would protect yourself in the end. That was your plan, right? She'd let herself get eliminated and leave me as the sole survivor. I'd become the vessel of the goddess or whatever, but in exchange, that let me escape my death. You realize why Skill left the way he did based on what I've told you, right? My death is what kicked this round of divine selection off in the first place. I'm assuming you... Okay, so hold on. That definitely means that you should be participant number 1, if not participant number 12. Why are you participant number 2? Because I would imagine... The only way it would make sense is that Riker explodes in the train at the very start. Then Miharu does the unspeakable. Parker's like, oh, well, now I've got to start this game again. What are you doing? And Miharu says, we can do the game again as long as you elect this person, have this person as a possible nomination. I'll obviously play again, and then fill up with other 10 other people. And then Parker picks the terrorist responsible, an old man, a mafioso, a sailor, a jewelry, potentially assassin, a mother, a businessman, a very unhealthy businessman, I should say. That's the only way I can see it making sense, basically. If Rinka dies and Miharu dies because of that, we'll just say dies of heartbreak, even though it's not really. But if you enjoyed, hopefully I can see you on the next one. With that, goodbye.